Maybe it's better to eat more nutrient-dense foods and less of them so that you don't have to eat so many calories. Protein and bone health, right? It's things like that that you're never necessarily going to say, oh, I'm not eating enough protein. I have this particular problem, again, like with B12, where it's pretty obvious that like, oh shit, I have nerve damage because I didn't consume B12 for 15 years. So please don't think that it's fine to eat 20, 40, whatever grams of protein a day because Freely says she's healthy and so it's not a problem. That's not how this works. And also, Freely eats a lot of calories, at least she used to, which is really, if you're gonna eat her way, you really should be eating 2,500 calories a day because you're gonna get more protein, right? The more food you eat, even if it's foods that aren't great in protein, well, if you're eating pounds and pounds and pounds, thousands of calories of them a day, then you might be able to meet your protein needs. You might even be able to get enough lysine, but like maybe that's not a good thing to do. Maybe that's not an ideal way to eat. Maybe it's better to eat more nutrient-dense foods and less of them so that you don't have to eat so many calories, so that you don't have to work out so much to make up for that huge calorie surplus, so that you don't have to feel, your stomach stretching beyond capacity and to be in pain. And then when you get off that diet, well, it's hard for you to feel satisfied on normal amounts of food.
I almost don't even have to say anything. I mean, just let her speak because I'm convinced she knows full well that her diet is mediocre at best.
You're averaging at best.
She obviously is convinced that she can meet her nutritional needs with that diet, but surely she comprehends that there's a better way. She acknowledges this all the time. She acknowledges that milk is perfectly healthy. It's fine. So these animal foods, they have all the nutrients that we need in them, but we should avoid them because of what? Fat? Cholesterol? Okay, well then eat lean meats. I don't know. Eat deer meat. Eat venison. Eat chicken breasts. Eat egg whites.
Woodstock Fruit Festival the year before that, and I had to cancel like a day or two before because I f***ed my back. The first Woodstock Fruit Festival, which I was going to go to, and like 2 days before, I was putting a jigsaw puzzle together. Yeah, I do puzzles. Don't judge me. And was reaching across to put the puzzle piece down, and it felt like my back was just like ripping in two. And so that really sucked. So I had to miss the festival and was, out of commission for it's like a week or so. It really wasn't that bad. Then just recently I just sat for way too long in one position for like almost 6 hours. And that just it's not a possibility for me even once. It's just not a possibility for me.
I don't want to curse, but I think it's funny that all these other people can drop F-bombs left and right and their videos don't get demonetized. So, interesting, right? Interesting. Anyway, this was at the creek this morning. Funny story here. You'll see here in a bit where I jumped down off of this edge or this ledge. And it's not that far down actually. But I didn't consider the fact that I might not be able to reach far enough up to be able to boost myself back up. So I had to go into the water after and pull out one of those heavy big rocks to stand on and then be able to boost myself back up. So I wanted to talk about this back injury she had because that sounds terrible. And she was pretty young when that happened. That is an indicator that something is seriously wrong. Her diet, namely, but yeah, something similar happened to me. I was like in my 20s. I think I was 26, 27, 28. We went to Nashville for the weekend. And I should mention I was really unhealthy. I was being reminded of it on that trip too. I was eating crap all the time. Lots of processed junk and carbs and, vegetable oils, all of that stuff. And I was like 10 to 15 pounds overweight, something like that. And that may not sound like to a lot of people, but for me, it's a lot of weight to carry because I already like to stay at the higher end of normal for my height. So right now I'm about 135. I used to stay about 140 though because I used to be a lot muscular. I don't know, as I've gotten older, the weight has just went down a little bit for like what's normal for me. Anyway, besides the point, but like, I don't know, on the charts and whatnot, they always say it's like 120 to 130 is normal, which sounds incredibly insane to me because the lowest I've ever gotten when I first got pregnant for the first time, I was so sick and I lost a bunch of weight and I got down to 130 and I looked so skinny and sickly. So I don't understand those charts. I think, they don't account for bone structure and things like that. Anyway, that's besides the point. I was just reminded that I was not very healthy at the time and I was getting older, although I wasn't that old, So anyway, we're in Nashville in the hotel and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed. I bend down to put my boots on and my back just pulls, like something in my lower back just snapped or pulled out of place and it hurts so bad. It hurt so bad all weekend. It took forever to heal up and it never fully healed, I don't think, because I still, every once in a while when I overexert myself or I'm going too long, this one little spot on my back will hurt. So, yeah, and my mother-in-law said to me, "You're too young for something like this to be happening. Like, you shouldn't bend over and pull a muscle or have a spasm or, everything should be in place, running smoothly." So that stuck with me. When I got back, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to get like healthier. I've got to get in shape. I've got to get back on track. And I did. It was a huge wake-up call for me. But I just think it's funny, like the way she talks about this, as if, things just happen. You bend over the wrong way and you could just snap yourself out of place. I mean, she doesn't even contribute it to the raw diet. She has this sort of mindset that these coincidences and things we just have no control over almost anything. And, well, her shirt does say walking chemical experiments, so.
Tans. Did you know? Did you know that usually when someone gets a little bit of tan, a little bit of glow, even some people call it, from the sun, they often look kind of healthier. This is the problem, right? Because we know that the sun is actually cancerous. It's actually not good to be tan, but damn, it looks nice, doesn't it?
Another coincidence. Looky there. Another coincidence that we look healthier when we have a glow to us, when we have a sun-kissed look. Because it's cancerous. The sun is cancer. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail here, but I'll link this video I did. Kind of boring. I read through a study, and this was the study. And basically the conclusion was, as we could assume with our logical thinking brains, that we need the sun. We have to have sunlight to survive. And actually, it's beneficial. It's more benefit. The benefit outweighs the risk greatly. What they recommend is that you don't burn. Don't go in the sun and get blisters all over your body. Don't do that. That's where, you can get moles and they can become cancerous and all that sort of thing. But that risk is minimal if you get little sun, every day, enough to just get that healthy glow, get your vitamin D up, things like that. And there are more benefits to it. It's actually found to reduce cancer. There's something about the synthesis of vitamin D that's very beneficial to the body. There's a lot more to it. Like I said, I won't go into detail here, but this always happens with me and Swayze, my love-hate relationship with her. Actually, I really do like her. She's probably my favorite vegan. But I start watching her, we end up agreeing on a lot, and then she says something like this, and I'm like, ugh. Anyway, that's about it. Y'all have a blessed day.